Today's video I was going to do in Photoshop and just showing the best ways that I've found to like cut out objects from the background, because with the laser and stuff as well, it's handy to be able to, you know, cut stuff from the background. So I just wanted to show a couple ways that I use. The first one I'm going to say is the pen tool. Like, really, this is the most accurate, and it's just a matter of getting used to like the shortcuts and stuff. I'm just going to quickly show one little bit of how I use this. So, oh, I already got a dot there. So you start off, and because you want this a bit rounded, like what I would do is click over here, not letting go of the mouse, and just drag it out until like it fits. But if you let go of the mouse now, you can see this handle, what I'm holding on to, is in the wrong direction. So before you let go of the mouse, if you hold Alt, you can just bend this handle and put it roughly in the correct direction for your next part. And then you can, you know, put the next one. And now I've still got my finger on the mouse, and what you can do is press the space bar as well before you take your finger off the mouse and put it down. And you can move it around with the space bar. If you do let go and you put it down like that, you can hold Control and click on the node, and then you can move the node about. If you hold Alt, you'll see if you hold Alt, when you go over the handles, you get that little arrow, and then that just means that you can pick that up and move it around. So actually, if I move this one, you can see, so if this was, you know, like, you can use both of these to make this correct. So bring that one down and bring this one down. Yeah, and then, so you just want to, really, the next one's better if it's pointing the direction. It don't matter, because if I've done this now, all you have to do is now I would press Alt and pick this one back up and move it to where it needs to be. Really, the more you mess with it, just the better you'll get at doing it, really. It's just practice. Like I say, like I said the other day, that one, the Bezier game, Bezier, is a good one to help you learn it. But yeah, really, you just want to break them first, because you can see that would be pointing in the wrong direction. So I just press, I'm still not let go of the mouse yet since I stretched it. So I hold Alt, and that would just move this one handle. Like I say, then when you do your next step, it'll be going in the correct direction. I'm going to get rid of that path. And another way that's good, as long as the photo's pretty well, you know, isolated from the background, normally, like this up here, the quick selection tool, if you click select subject, or you can just click this background selection tool and draw a box around roughly what you want, and it should find it from there. You can see how it does a pretty good job. If you use this background tool as well, once you've got your object cut out, it'll give you other options. So like if you wanted to cut the people out, or, you know, like it'll find the objects in the photo for you. So I'm going to go back to my layer. I'm going to say copy and paste that, and it did do a pretty good job there. But let me just go back a minute. I'm going to reselect this, and I'm just going to remove a little bit so it's not correct, just to show what you can do if it's not correct. There's two ways. If there's something like this and you can't get it to go around this corner, if you press the letter Q, it will go into like quick mask mode, and then you can just use your brush tool. Make sure your hardness is all the way up, and make sure your flow and opacity is all the way up. And then with the brush tool, oh, let me zoom in a bit. Whoops. With the brush tool, if I use white, whatever I paint in white will rub out now. So you can just, as well as on a lot of the programs the same. Holding shift will draw you a straight line. So if you want to draw a straight line, you just hold shift. And then, because you can see that didn't do a great job of cutting this out earlier, so still with this quick mode selected. Now if I press X, that changes between black and white. So now with the colour black, I could actually get right in here if I wanted and paint it, you know, and get these nicely cut out. Still, you're not going to get it as neat as you would really with a pen tool, but I mean, you know, if it's something small, it's probably not going to notice if there's a little, you know, tiny bit like that. So now now I've got my selection I want. I'm going to press the letter Q again, and now you can see it's added that to my mask. So I'm going to go to this bottom one again and copy and paste. And you can see if I remove that top one, how it done a bit better job. Yeah, there is these magnetic lasso tool. I mean, that will work sometimes. You just kind of drag it, but you can see you just drag it around near the edge. If it's, you know, if you want a really quick selection of something, you might get away with using that. The other thing is as well, once you've got a selection, Control and D will deselect it. Oh, and another handy thing is, if you've already cut something out and you need it re-outlined again, you can just hold Control and click on the image there, and you can see it give me the cutout again then. So look, I'll just quickly show what that would be handy for. I'm going to deselect that. I'm going to add a solid colour. I'll just make it white for now and say OK. So if you had something on top and then you wanted your bike to come through, you could Control and click onto that, make a mask on this layer, and now if you hold Alt and drag that, replace the mask, yes, and you can see it's replaced it with that white. And if you actually wanted it the other way around, you click on this mask and press Control and I, and now that's going to invert it. And it's the same, anything that's black, you know, with the mask. So if I got the black brush now and drew, it would start bringing back, like, you know, what was behind. So, and one last one is, let me go back to here. I'm just going to delete them two for a minute. Control and click that. And I'm just going to mess this up a little bit again. So if you got something missing like that and you've copied and you pasted it, and now you turn this off and you realise, one other thing you can do is duplicate the background layer and put it above, turn off this background, and then mask this image, press Control and I to invert it, and now on this black layer you could draw back in with white and it will bring that back. I mean, you have to be a bit neater than that, but you can see what I mean. So if there's little bits and pieces that you've missed, you know, you can bring them back. And if there's little bits and pieces you need to take away, say like here in between this, you would just go back to this layer and do a mask, and then paint with black on this one. So I'll press X, that'll take me back to my black. Yeah, and then you could just rub it out, you know, like that. If as well, if it's little pieces like this, you can normally use this tool and then just press delete, and it will delete them out of there. So yeah, just, you know, same thing, it'll work on a lot of them. And the one last way is, which I rarely use, but it's nice if you've got fur, you know, or hairs in the picture, is still on this tool, the quick selection tool, but you want to click select and mask. and then say select subject. It's going to discard that because I just had that selected. And now it's going to do its best job to find it, and you just make sure you're on this brush if you want to add some back, and then you can add, like, you know, it'll add little bits and pieces back that it missed before. If you go too much like that, you just hold Alt, it'll allow you to rub it back out. So yeah, I just wanted to show that's just a couple of ways that you can cut it out. There is others, I'm sure. You can also, let me just do that last one, is up here under select, you can use different things to select. So color range is another good one sometimes for the laser. So you click select color range, and then you can click, you know, on this, and it'll bring up anything that's that color. And then if you go to the plus tool, I can start adding the different color yellows, and you can see it'll start filling in anything that's yellow. And now if I say OK, it's selected all the yellow. So if I copy and paste, I turn that off, and you can see that's all the yellow parts of the bike. So, yep, I just wanted to show there a few ways, so hopefully it can help someone out. And thank you for watching, and please like and subscribe, and I'll add more videos as soon as possible. If there's anything else on Photoshop that you would like me to go over, if I know how to do it, I'll make a video on it. Just let me know in the comments. Thank you.